This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Butschern. But before that, this video is brought to you by Andre Yokoma and Jackson Weatherholt. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Butschern map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now let me read a little bit of the description. Good morning, fish rolls, tea, and green dike. Welcome to Butschern at the North Sea. This map includes 10 fields and 5 meadows. There is a main farm. There is also the potential to buy a pig farm, as well as a few building sites, as well as greenhouses. There are several points of sale and production points on the map, including a windmill, grain mill, a dairy. We have a BGA, a biomass plant, spinnery, rock crusher, and so much more. Now, this map does have 3 required mods. That is the old farm package, the EU factories, and the windmill. Let's go ahead and load on in. Now, if you load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, I will tell you that the built map is built out exactly how you see it here in New Farmer mode, with the exception of there being no machinery. Now, we are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. We also have the required mods in the EU factories, the windmill, and the old farm package. Now, this map is using the soil map from the Alpine map, so from Erlengrot. If you do play with precision farming, you will have the same soil map as Erlengrot. And here we are, loaded on in. Now, the first thing you're going to notice when we take a look at the PDA is, well, this is a small map, to say the least. So I would put this map at probably something close to 1/5 the size of a standard map. We do have all the standard crop types available to us here on Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at the lands area, we include the starting farm, which is located right here, as well as a large grass meadow just south of the main farm. We also have fields 10, 6, and 1. The pig farm can be bought right here for $223,000. We have some greenhouses over here for $33,000. We also have a buildable zone for $25,000 right there. There is a barn here that you can purchase and a fenced area that you can clear out for $51,000. And then there's a few other viable points scattered around the map. $32,000 for this point down here by the biogas plant and biomass heating plant. I believe this is where the silage bunkers are, so you can buy that and then obviously dump your silage. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. And as you'll see, we can compare the farm lands, how big those farmlands are, how much they're going to cost, and if they include any fields. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. And then we will cross-reference that with the field calculator screen. And this is going to show us the actual sizes of the fields themselves. Now, while this is a fairly small map, the field sizes aren't that terribly bad. We're looking at field sizes between 1.7 hectares or so, all the way up to nearly 4 hectares for field number 4. Now, we do have the standard crop counter available to us here in Farm Sim 22 on the map. And if we take a look at our prices screen, you will see that we do indeed have the ability to sell each and every crop that we could grow or produce on this particular map. We also have the ability to sell our eggs, wool, and milk, silage, hay, straw, and grass. And as we move down to our productions, we do have the ability to sell every base game production that we could possibly produce on the map, with the built-in productions, as well as the productions that we could possibly place. We do have the ability to buy bulk lime, as well as the ability to sell stones at the stone crusher. If we take a look at our starting equipment, it is all new. None of it is leased. We do have animals at the start. In fact, we have 10 chickens and 1 rooster in the chicken coop, and we have 10 Holstein cows in the cow barn. There are contracts available on this map, and we do not start out by owning any production chains. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. Start out with the Massey Ferguson 6716S, as well as the John Deere 4755 tractors. We have the John Deere T560 harvester that is paired up with the 625X grain header. Then we also have the Nardi 40BX header trailer. We have the Agromaz POV5 XL plow, the Agromaz BTC 50H disc harrow. We have the Amazon KG 3001 Super, and then that is paired up with the Amazon 3000 Super Seeder. We have the Amazon ZATS 3200 Fertilize Spreader. We have the Manure Spreader and the TA 12050 Power Spread Plus Manure Spreader. We have the VT 130 Slurry Tank and the Spider SP 6834 Slurry Applicator. We have the Dalbo Max Roll 630 Green Line Grass Care Roller. Now, do note the grass care rollers are different than the regular rollers. Grass care rollers should only be used on grass. We have the Kuhn GMD 8730FF butterfly mowers and the GMD 3123F front mower. We also have then the GF 8712 Kuhn tedder and the the Semez Z2 840H windrower. We have the Rapide 580V forage wagon. We have the VB 3190 round baler, as well as the Farsin PF 2.24 plus TMR mixer, the Anderson Pro Chop 150 straw blower, and the Lizard MKS 8 liquid tanker. We have the Q6M Quickie front loaders. And then we have the pallet fork and manure fork for our front loader. And then we round it all off with a 900 and 750 kilogram front weight. If you take a look at the mods and DLCs, you'll see that there are no custom mods or vehicles that are a part of this particular map. And let's go ahead and walk in our front lane. Check out our main our main farm here on the map. So over here to the left, we do have our sleep trigger. And then around the side, we have the barn portion of the house. Kind of a combination barn and house. Flows straight into our chicken coop, where we do have, as I said, 10 chickens and 1 rooster at the start. Base game chicken coop, so we have our food dump station and our egg spawn point. Just taking a look at that trailer. I didn't recall a trailer being a part of starting equipment. Right there it is. The Welger DK 115 and a Branter TA 23065 2 Power 2 Plus. We just skipped right on over top of the trailers. We have our milk trigger. We have our animal dealer for our cows, and we have, again, 10 Holsteins already on the map when we load on in. Our food and straw triggers are inside. And I will say that you can sell everything you see here on the main farm. So all of the decorative bits, all of the buildings can be sold, should you so wish. More machinery. We have our vehicle workshop. We have our farm silo, so we have our dump station and our fill pipe. We have 2 silage bunkers. More of our machinery. I believe we start out with 3 hay bales and 3 grass bales. Sorry, 3 hay bales and 3 straw bales. Here we have our solid fertilizer storage tank, and we include 4,000 liters of solid fertilizer at the start. We have our slurry tank. And then we have our manure heap located right there. And then we're going to round it all out with this small shed right here. So while this map is small, it is definitely not short on visual appeal. It is very well set up, very well decorated. I think anyone that enjoys small farming is going to absolutely enjoy this particular map. So we do have a diesel tank that also includes 2,000 liters of fuel. Now, I do believe that I have once again managed to completely skip over the precision farming screen and taking a look at the soil map. As I said in the intro, this map includes the Alpine soil map, so it's the same soil map that we're going to see on Erlengrot. And with that soil map now exposed, you can see to the north we have a fair bit of loamy sand and sandy loam and loam across fields 8, 9, and 10. Further to the south, we have a fair bit of silty clay and loam on the southern fields 3, 6, 1, 4, 2, and 5. Let's go ahead and take to the skies, and directly in front of us we do see the pig farm. We go ahead and do a little bit of a pan around here. We have the North Sea off to our west. Decorative off the map scenery. We've got some farm buildings, we've got some windmills, some farmland off to the west outside the boundary. Some more wonderful boundary work going on here. So down below, this is the storage shed and the fenced in area that I was talking about. If you buy this segment of land, you can use the shed, you could sell the shed, and you could also sell the fence that is below. Here we have the pig farm, which includes a slurry tank, manure heap, base game pig facility. We have a farm silo again, and then we have a 3-bay storage shed. The center north of the map, we do have a water trigger embedded down here in this little bit of a forest area. We have a water trigger right here. Now, this segment of the map can be bought, this little square, and if you do buy it, then you'll have access to 3 large greenhouses. And speaking of production, let's talk about the production that is built into the map. But before we do that, hot dog, hot dog. Well, should I say leg of lamb, leg of lamb. I love these animated sheep on the hillside. So these are not viable. At least I don't think they are. Maybe they are. Let's look. I didn't try to buy these. And maybe I should have when I was looking around the map earlier. Look at that. They are actually usable. I thought they were just decorative, but no, they are actually usable. So we have 10 sheep in this area. We have our water trough, we have our food trough, and we have our wool spawn point. And then we have another sheep area. Once again, we have 10 sheep. We have... how many of these? We have 9 white sheep, and then we have... there's always one black sheep in the family. We have 1 black sheep. We have our water trough, food trough, and our wool spawn point. So I was thinking these were decorative. It turns out these are legit, usable sheep pens. Really, really awesome. Field 10 below is one of the fields that we own. And continuing on the western edge of the map, now we're coming into the town area. And below we have our vehicle shop, we have our stone crusher, our maintenance trigger. We have a sell point here at the Windmill. Or that may be actual production. Take a closer look at that later. We have a bale sell point as well as our animal dealer. And we might be able to buy these too. Indeed we can. We don't have enough money, but we can buy the horses. So we will then have the ability to have horses on the map. If we don't buy them, well, then they're just kind of hanging out and doing their thing. Along the southern edge of the map here, we have our biogas plant, our biomass heating plant, and then our 2 bunkers. Like I said, this is where you can buy this land, and then you'll have access to dump in those silage bunkers. Then over here we have a flour mill as well as a dairy and then a general sell point. Sell point is there by the grate. We have our flour mill, we have our dairy, and then we have an additional placeable area here that we can buy. So as far as production that is built into the map, we have 8 things that are built into the map. We have the dairy, the grain mill, a windmill, the BGA, a spinnery, and then 3 large greenhouses. So with respect to having production built in, we do indeed have production built in, and we are going to give the map a full point here. Now, this little notch in field 4 we can buy, and if we do buy, then we will own the windmill. The windmill will then generate us some money per hour, or we could sell the windmill, clear these trees, and then make use of this as a full field. We already mentioned that we can buy and sell all our base game products, props, and animal outputs. So we are going to give the map a full point there. In addition, we've mentioned that the farm is fully customizable. So we are going to go ahead and give the map a full point there as well. Looking through these buildings, they do indeed make use of the new texturing technique, the new window technique and such. So we are also going to give the map a full point there. And we will somewhat hold the final judgment on the last area of interest until we have had a chance to do our drive around. This is what we are about to do right here. So here we have our vehicle shop. We have our stone crusher. We have our customized repair, sell, and trade, and now repaint trigger located right here. And then we have our Mahindra. So we've got a decent area for vehicles to spawn in at here. So we're not going to be buying huge equipment. I wouldn't expect to be buying a lot of equipment. We do have a pretty nice area for that stuff to spawn in at. Let's go ahead and make our way over here to the mill. At the mill, we have our dump station. There we have our interactive icon. It was hidden from aerial view. And then we have our pallet spawn point around the side. Coming across the back here, we have our animal dealer. Located right there. And then we have a bale sell point here at the animal dealer. Right there at the barn. As I mentioned, right beside the animal dealer, we do have a horse pasture that we could buy. Includes 2 horses at the start. If we don't buy it, well, that's fine. The horses will just remain and be a nice decorative touch to the map. Here we have another sell point. It is Street Shopping is the name of this sell point. Then we need to double back. I was hoping we could get to the spinnery from on this side of the road, but we cannot. We've got a bulk lime, fertilizer, and seed buy point here at the shop also. It's such a small map. Everything is so compressed. There's lots of stuff going on in a very small area. Lots of details. Also in such a small map. Here we have the spinnery. So we have our dump station for our wool and cotton. We have our spawn point. Then kind of hidden around the corner, we have our interactive icon. Pretty narrow roads, so you're probably going to want to have some smaller equipment, some smaller trailers with respect to driving around. I wouldn't expect you to have a very good experience if you try to load this map up and play it with large semi-trailers and really large harvesters and other such machinery. Let's go check out the pig farm. So remember, our starting farm is located right over there. Then we have the pig farm here. The pig farm can indeed be fully sold, including all of the decorative bits. So I'm not going to mess with buying the farm here because we are just talking about a standard FS22 base game pig area, but we have our pig drop off, we have our food trigger, and we of course have our slurry point around the side. We have our manure heap down the hill. We have our silo with our dump point and our fill point, and the triggers will all show up once we buy the land. And then we have a 3-bay storage shed that again we'll be able to open once we buy the land. Guess we'll need to go out the other way, same way we came in. I was hoping there would be a kind of a loop in and out. And as I said, from the fly around, this area over here can be purchased. If you purchase it, you can make use of the shed. You can also sell the fencing once you own the land. We'll make our way quickly down the eastern side of the map. We have then our dairy. So we have our dump point, we have our pallet point, we have our interactive icon for the dairy. Around the corner we have our mill. So we have our flour spawn point, we have our dump station, and our interactive icon right there. And then here we have just a general purpose grain sell point. And then this land over here could be bought, and then additional development could be had, and additional placeables and such could be put down. Now, as we make our way over to the biogas plant and the biomass heating plant, I do want to say that I do believe the triggers and interactive areas are clearly marked, so this is going to give the map a 5 out of 5. That's right, we have another 5 out of 5 map, a little map, and maybe it's easier to do a 5 out of 5 with little maps, maybe it's not. But at any rate, we do have another perfect scoring map here on Farm Sim 22. So we have our digestate, we have our interactive trigger, we have our digester, and our dump point for our slurry. We have 2 silage bunkers. And then we have our log sell point as well as our wood chip sell point here at the biomass heating plant. So guys, that is going to do us for another map video. Let me know what you all think down in the comments below for Butschern. I can't pronounce this word, but at any rate, let me know what you all think of the map. I kind of like it. And if you've never played a little mini map like this, I really suggest giving it a try. It can often be rather refreshing. Just think it. You can buy some smaller machinery and take your time. And still you're going to find yourself getting things done a whole lot faster than those big fields on those 4X maps. Maybe you're a player that really doesn't have a whole lot of time to dedicate to your farm sim play. Well, this type of map could be ideal because it will allow you to get a sense of having some accomplishment done and only spending a little bit of time on the map. I didn't want to come down here to the coast. I found these structures rather interesting. And here we are at the map edge, map border. We can't go past here because that is the map border. And until next time, happy farming.